Your life is like a ship. Every unnecessary weight slows you down. What if I told you that Stoic philosophy holds the key to quietly shedding the burdens that hold you back? Today, let's uncover 11 things you must eliminate to live with clarity, purpose, and peace. Let's begin. 1. Negative self-talk. Negative self-talk is like a mental chain that ties you down, limiting your ability to grow and thrive. It often takes the form of harsh judgments, self-doubt, or catastrophizing situations. For example, thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I always mess things up" are more than just words. They shape your mindset and actions. Stoicism teaches us that these thoughts are not truths but perceptions, and we have the power to change them. The Stoic perspective on negative thoughts. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Negative self-talk falls into this category. It's not the situation but your interpretation that creates inner turmoil. By changing your perspective, you reclaim control over your emotions and actions. How to quiet negative self-talk? Identify the source. Pause and reflect on where these thoughts originate. Are they rooted in past experiences, fears, or societal expectations? Awareness is the first step to transformation. Question the validity. Ask yourself, is this thought objectively true? Most negative self-talk crumbles under rational scrutiny. Reframe your thinking. Replace negative thoughts with constructive ones. For instance, instead of saying, "I can't handle this," say, "I'm learning to handle this." Practice gratitude. Shift your focus to what's going well in your life. Gratitude rewires your brain to see the positive. Building a positive inner dialogue. Stoics emphasize the importance of self-discipline, not just in actions but in thoughts. Think of your inner dialogue as a garden. Nurture it with encouragement and wisdom, and it will flourish. Replace "I'm a failure" with "I didn't succeed this time, but I'll try again with more wisdom." This subtle shift helps you focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Why eliminating negative self-talk matters. When you eliminate negative self-talk, you create space for confidence, resilience, and clarity. It's not about ignoring your flaws. It's about approaching them constructively. Negative thoughts drain energy and focus, while constructive thinking empowers you to take action. By practicing Stoic principles like self-awareness, rationality, and gratitude, you transform your inner voice into a source of strength rather than sabotage. Quiet the critic, amplify the mentor within you, and watch as your life begins to align with the peace and purpose Stoicism promises. 2. Chasing external validation. Chasing external validation is like running on a treadmill. You expend energy but never truly move forward. Stoicism teaches that seeking approval from others is a trap that leads to frustration and unhappiness. Epictetus wisely said, "If you wish to be free, do not concern yourself with the opinions of others." True freedom and respect come from within, not from the applause of the crowd. Why chasing validation is harmful. When you base your self-worth on how others perceive you, you surrender your autonomy. You may find yourself constantly trying to please everyone, often at the expense of your own needs and values. For example, you might choose a career, lifestyle, or even hobbies that align with societal expectations instead of your own passions. This creates inner conflict, as you are no longer living authentically. Moreover, external validation is fleeting. It depends on the moods, biases, and changing opinions of others. No matter how much approval you receive, it's never enough because you're feeding an insatiable desire. The Stoic alternative: focus on internal values. The Stoics believed in living according to virtue, which means aligning your actions with your values rather than others' expectations. Instead of asking, "What will people think of me?" ask, "Am I acting with wisdom, courage, and integrity?" These internal markers provide a stable foundation for self-worth that external validation can never offer. How to quietly eliminate the need for approval. Identify your core values. Define what truly matters to you: honesty, kindness, perseverance, and let these guide your decisions. Practice self-affirmation. Remind yourself of your worth regularly. Affirmations like, I am enough, or my value is not tied to others' opinions. Reinforce internal confidence. Detach from outcomes. Focus on doing your best without obsessing over how others react. For instance, give your best effort at work, but don't stress over whether your boss praises you. Limit social media use. Platforms designed for likes and shares often fuel the desire for external validation. Use them mindfully, if at all. The freedom of letting go. When you stop chasing external validation, you reclaim your peace of mind. You'll find that acting authentically attracts respect far more naturally than seeking approval ever could. It's liberating to realize that you don't need anyone's permission to live a fulfilling life. By eliminating the need for external validation, you embody the Stoic ideal of self-reliance. Your worth is no longer at the mercy of others. It is firmly rooted in your character and actions. As you focus on being true to yourself, you'll notice that respect, admiration, and fulfillment naturally follow. 3. Toxic relationships. Toxic relationships are like emotional quicksand. They drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and hinder your growth. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with individuals who align with your values and support your journey toward virtue. Seneca advised, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Letting go of toxic relationships is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-preservation and wisdom. How toxic relationships impact you. Toxic individuals can take many forms. Those who constantly criticize, manipulate, drain your energy, or consistently disrespect your boundaries. Such relationships can lead to emotional exhaustion, self-doubt, and even resentment. Over time, these interactions prevent you from living authentically and distract you from your personal growth. Imagine trying to carry a heavy weight while climbing a mountain. This is what toxic relationships do to your emotional and mental well-being. They make it harder to focus on what truly matters and pull you away from your goals. The Stoic approach to eliminating toxic relationships. Set boundaries firmly. Recognize when a relationship crosses the line and assert your limits calmly but clearly. Stoicism teaches us to remain rational and composed in our actions. Detach with compassion. Letting go doesn't mean holding on to anger or resentment. Instead, detach with understanding and wish the person well, but from a distance. Focus on virtuous connections. Seek relationships that inspire and uplift you. Align yourself with people who encourage growth, integrity, and kindness. Accept what you can't change. Not all relationships can be fixed, no matter how much effort you put in. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what is within our control, your own actions, not others' behaviors. Signs it's time to walk away. The relationship feels one-sided, with you giving far more than you receive. You feel drained or anxious after interacting with the person. They consistently undermine your goals, values, or self-worth. The benefits of letting go. Quietly eliminating toxic relationships creates space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. It frees your mind from unnecessary drama and conflict, allowing you to focus on your own growth and happiness. You'll also find that cutting ties with negativity enhances your emotional resilience and clarity. By letting go of what doesn't serve you, you align with the Stoic principle of living virtuously. Surround yourself with those who respect your boundaries, inspire your journey, and celebrate your growth. In doing so, you'll build a support system that strengthens your resolve and amplifies your potential. 4. Overthinking the future. Overthinking the future is a mental trap that keeps you paralyzed in fear and uncertainty. The Stoics believed in focusing on the present moment while preparing wisely for what lies ahead. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Eliminating the habit of overthinking the future is essential for peace of mind and effective action. How overthinking harms you. When you overthink, you expend energy worrying about scenarios that may never happen. This creates unnecessary stress and anxiety, leaving you too distracted to fully engage with the present. For example, you might obsess over whether a project will succeed or whether others will judge you harshly, instead of focusing on doing your best work. Overthinking the future often leads to inaction. The fear of what-ifs can prevent you from taking even the first step toward your goals. It's like trying to steer a car that's stuck in neutral. You're revving the engine but going nowhere. The Stoic approach to calming overthinking. Focus on the present moment. Ground yourself in what you can do now. Instead of worrying about tomorrow's challenges, ask yourself, what's the next best step I can take today? Prepare wisely, then let go. Make reasonable plans for the future, but avoid obsessing over the outcomes. Once you've prepared, trust your ability to adapt to whatever comes. Practice dichotomy of control. Remind yourself that the future is outside your control. What you can control is your effort, mindset, and actions in the present. Limit what-if scenarios. Catch yourself when you spiral into endless what-ifs and redirect your thoughts to constructive solutions. Replace overthinking with action. Instead of endlessly analyzing what could go wrong, take small, intentional steps toward your goals. Action reduces fear because it shifts your focus from hypothetical outcomes to tangible progress. For example, if you're overthinking a career move, list the steps you can take today. Researching roles, updating your resume, or networking. By taking action, you'll feel more confident and less overwhelmed by uncertainty. The peace of eliminating overthinking. When you stop overthinking the future, you reclaim mental clarity and emotional balance. You also become more effective in your actions because your energy is directed toward what truly matters. The Stoics teach us to trust ourselves and embrace life's uncertainties with courage. By focusing on the present and preparing calmly for the future, you free yourself from the endless cycle of worry. This mental discipline not only aligns with Stoic wisdom, but also allows you to face life with resilience, purpose, and peace. 5. Complaining about things you can't control. Complaining about things beyond your control is not only unproductive, but also a source of unnecessary frustration. The Stoics believed that true peace lies in accepting what cannot be changed and focusing on what you can influence. Epictetus succinctly stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Eliminating complaints allows you to channel your energy into meaningful action and cultivate inner tranquility. Why complaining is harmful. When you complain about external circumstances, whether it's bad weather, a slow traffic jam, or someone else's behavior, you're giving away your power. Complaining doesn't change the situation. It only amplifies your frustration. It creates a mindset of victimhood, where you feel powerless against external forces. This habit also affects how others perceive you. Chronic complainers are often viewed as negative or ungrateful, which can damage relationships and opportunities. More importantly, it distracts you from identifying and acting on solutions within your control. The Stoic alternative: accept and adapt. Practice radical acceptance. Acknowledge what is outside your control. For example, you can't change the weather, but you can choose to carry an umbrella or reschedule your plans. Acceptance frees your mind from resistance and frustration. Focus on your response. Instead of saying, "This is unfair," ask yourself, "How can I respond constructively to this?" Shifting your perspective empowers you to act rather than complain. Turn challenges into opportunities. The Stoics saw obstacles as a chance to grow. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Practical ways to stop complaining. Gratitude practice. Replace complaints with gratitude. If you're stuck in traffic, appreciate the chance to listen to a favorite podcast or reflect on your day. Self-awareness. Notice when you start complaining and pause. Ask yourself if the complaint is within your control, and if not, let it go. Solution-oriented thinking. Redirect your thoughts toward what you can do to improve the situation. For example, if work deadlines feel overwhelming, prioritize tasks instead of lamenting the workload. The freedom of letting go. When you stop complaining, you feel lighter, more focused, and more in control of your life. Instead of dwelling on negativity, you redirect your energy toward growth and improvement. This shift aligns with Stoic principles and transforms your mindset into one of resilience and gratitude. By quietly eliminating the habit of complaining, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. You'll also inspire those around you to adopt a similar mindset, fostering a more positive and productive environment. As the Stoics teach, inner peace begins with how you choose to perceive and respond to life's challenges. 6. Dwelling on past mistakes. Dwelling on past mistakes is like carrying unnecessary baggage on a long journey. It weighs you down and prevents you from moving forward. The Stoics emphasized that the past is beyond our control, and the only meaningful action lies in the present. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. By letting go of the past, you free yourself to grow and thrive in the present. Why dwelling on mistakes is harmful. Focusing excessively on your past errors can lead to feelings of guilt, regret, and self-doubt. These emotions cloud your judgment and drain your energy, making it difficult to focus on current opportunities. For example, replaying a failed relationship or missed career opportunity in your mind will not change the outcome, but it can diminish your confidence to pursue new relationships or professional growth. Furthermore, dwelling on mistakes can create a cycle of inaction. When you're consumed by regret, you may hesitate to take risks or try again, fearing you'll repeat the same mistakes. This stifles progress and personal development. The Stoic approach, learn and move forward. Reflect, don't dwell. The Stoics encouraged self-reflection to learn from the past without being consumed by it. Ask yourself, what lessons can I take from this experience? Once you've identified the lesson, release the regret. Focus on what you can do now. Direct your energy toward actions you can take in the present. For example, if you regret a financial mistake, start by creating a budget or seeking financial advice to prevent similar errors. Practice self-compassion. Accept that you're human and prone to errors. Epictetus taught that mistakes are opportunities to grow in wisdom and character. Forgive yourself and commit to doing better. Use visualization. Picture yourself putting your regrets into a box and locking it away. This mental exercise helps create a sense of closure and detachment. Reframing the past. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, view them as stepping stones to improvement. Each error provides valuable insights that can guide you toward wiser decisions. For instance, a failed business venture might teach you better financial management or the importance of market research, making you more prepared for future success. The peace of letting go. When you stop dwelling on the past, you release a significant emotional burden. This shift allows you to fully engage with the present, where true change and progress happen. You'll also cultivate a mindset of resilience, understanding that mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it. By eliminating the habit of dwelling on past mistakes, you align with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. You'll feel lighter, more empowered, and ready to embrace life's challenges with clarity and courage. 7. Comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself to others is a surefire way to erode your self-esteem and disrupt your inner peace. The Stoics believed that true contentment comes from living in alignment with your own values, not from measuring your life against others. Seneca wrote, "You will cease to fear if you cease to hope. If you measure yourself by others, you will never be satisfied." Eliminating comparisons allows you to focus on your unique path and achieve genuine fulfillment. Why comparisons are harmful. When you compare yourself to others, you often focus on their strengths and your perceived weaknesses. This distorted perspective can lead to envy, self-doubt, and a constant feeling of inadequacy. For example, seeing someone else's career success on social media might make you feel like you're falling behind, even if you've made significant progress in your own way. Comparisons also distract you from your personal goals and values. Instead of asking, "What's important to me?" you begin to chase what others have, which might not align with your true purpose. The Stoic approach. Focus on your own progress. Define your values. Ask yourself what truly matters to you. For instance, if your goal is to cultivate inner peace, material possessions or external validation might not be as significant as you once thought. Measure against yourself. Compare who you are today to who you were yesterday. Are you making progress toward your personal goals? This internal benchmark is far more constructive than external comparisons. Practice gratitude. Recognize the strengths and opportunities you already have. Gratitude shifts your focus from what others possess to appreciating your own journey. Limit exposure to triggers. If social media or certain environments make you feel inadequate, consider reducing your engagement. Protect your mental space by surrounding yourself with supportive influences. Transform comparison into inspiration. Instead of feeling envious of others, use their success as motivation. For example, if you admire someone's discipline in fitness or career, ask yourself how you can adopt similar habits. This shifts your mindset from negativity to growth. The freedom of eliminating comparisons. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you reclaim your energy and self-worth. You'll feel more confident in your abilities and more focused on your goals. This freedom enables you to build a life that reflects your values and aspirations, not someone else's. The Stoics teach us that contentment comes from within. By quietly eliminating comparisons, you align with this principle and cultivate a mindset of gratitude, progress, and inner peace. You'll realize that the only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. 8. The need for constant approval. Seeking constant approval from others is a subtle yet powerful way to lose sight of your own values and self-worth. The Stoics taught that true freedom lies in independence from the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius advised, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." Eliminating the need for external validation allows you to live authentically and with purpose. Why approval seeking is harmful. When you rely on others' validation to feel worthy, you give away control over your happiness. This habit often leads to people-pleasing, where you prioritize others' expectations over your own needs and values. For example, you might agree to projects you don't believe in or suppress your true opinions to fit in. The constant pursuit of approval creates a cycle of anxiety. You're always wondering, what do they think of me? This mental chatter takes up valuable energy that could be spent on personal growth or meaningful endeavors. The Stoic approach: find value within. Define your own standards. Identify what success and integrity mean to you. When you live according to your values, the opinions of others lose their power over you. Recognize the fickleness of opinions. Understand that people's judgments are often fleeting and influenced by their own biases. As Epictetus noted, other people's opinions are not your concern. Practice self-validation. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, without waiting for external acknowledgement. This builds confidence and reinforces your independence. Detach from praise and criticism. Both compliments and critiques can be distracting. Focus on whether your actions align with your principles rather than how they're perceived. The power of authenticity. Living authentically is liberating. When you no longer depend on others' approval, you're free to make choices that resonate with your true self. For instance, pursuing a creative passion, changing careers, or expressing an unpopular opinion becomes easier because you're anchored in your own values. The peace of letting go of approval. By eliminating the need for constant approval, you cultivate inner strength and emotional stability. You'll find that people respect you more when you stand firm in your convictions. More importantly, you'll respect yourself, which is the foundation of a fulfilling life. The Stoics remind us that our worth is not determined by external opinions. By seeking validation only from within, you align with this timeless wisdom, freeing yourself to live boldly, authentically, and in accordance with your highest values. 9. Holding on to grudges and resentment. Holding on to grudges and resentment is a heavy emotional burden that prevents you from moving forward and finding peace. The Stoics believed that holding on to negative feelings toward others only harms the person who harbors them. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." Letting go of resentment frees you to live with a clear mind and a heart open to peace and growth. Why grudges are harmful. When you hold a grudge, you continuously relive the hurt and anger caused by another person. This mental cycle keeps you emotionally tied to past events, preventing you from fully engaging in the present. You might find yourself replaying old arguments or injustices in your mind, which can lead to bitterness and unhappiness. Furthermore, resentment can manifest in physical and emotional stress. The energy you expend on negative emotions could be better used to focus on positive actions or relationships that nourish your well-being. The Stoic approach: Forgiveness and release. Understand the nature of people. People make mistakes, and often their actions are more about them than about you. Epictetus taught, when you are insulted or wronged, remember that it is an opportunity to practice virtue. This shift in perspective helps you avoid taking things personally. Forgive for your own peace. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, but it means releasing yourself from the hold of anger. When you forgive, you take back your power and choose peace over bitterness. Let go of the past. Focus on what you can control, your actions and responses. You can't change what's already happened, but you can choose how to react moving forward. Embrace compassion. Understand that everyone has their own struggles, and those who wrong you might be acting from their own pain. Compassion allows you to let go of resentment and see others more clearly. The freedom in forgiving. When you let go of grudges, you free up emotional energy that can be directed toward more meaningful endeavors. You'll find yourself more present in your relationships and more focused on personal growth. Forgiveness is an act of self-liberation, allowing you to break free from the chains of anger and hurt. The peace of emotional release. By releasing grudges, you restore peace in your heart. You begin to see people, not as sources of pain, but as fellow humans navigating their own challenges. This shift allows you to cultivate a sense of understanding and empathy, creating space for healthier interactions and a more harmonious life. The Stoic approach to grudges is about choosing inner peace over perpetual conflict. By quietly eliminating resentment, you align with this wisdom and embrace a life of emotional freedom and strength. 10. The fear of taking risks. Fear of taking risks is one of the most limiting forces in our lives. The Stoics understood that without taking risks, we deny ourselves the opportunity for growth, learning, and progress. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Fear of failure often keeps us stuck in the same place, preventing us from taking the steps needed to evolve. By letting go of this fear, you open the door to new opportunities and personal transformation. Why fear of risk is harmful. Fear of risk often stems from the fear of failure or judgment. We worry about making the wrong choice, facing rejection, or experiencing setbacks. This paralyzing fear keeps us from trying new things, from challenging ourselves, and from stepping outside our comfort zones. Additionally, this fear can result in a life of stagnation. By avoiding risks, we miss out on valuable experiences, opportunities for growth, and the chance to develop resilience in the face of challenges. Without risk, life becomes predictable and uninspiring. The Stoic approach: embrace uncertainty and growth. Redefine failure. The Stoics believed that failure is not the end but a valuable learning experience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." Rather than fearing failure, see it as a stepping stone toward wisdom and progress. Focus on what you can control. While the outcome of a risky endeavor is uncertain, you can control how you approach it. Focus on doing your best and learning from the experience, regardless of the result. Detach from outcomes. Stop measuring your success solely by the outcome. The process of taking action, learning, and growing is often more valuable than achieving a specific result. Start small. If you're afraid of taking big risks, begin by taking smaller steps outside your comfort zone. Gradually, this will build your confidence and help you handle larger risks in the future. The courage of risk-taking. Taking risks allows you to discover your true potential. Whether it's pursuing a new career, starting a business, or opening up to new relationships, risks push you toward growth and transformation. The courage to take risks teaches you resilience and adaptability, essential traits for overcoming life's challenges. The freedom in facing fear. When you let go of the fear of taking risks, you gain a sense of freedom and empowerment. You become the master of your own destiny, no longer constrained by the fear of failure or judgment. You'll find that taking risks often leads to unexpected rewards, including increased self-confidence and fulfillment. The Stoic approach to risk is about embracing uncertainty with a calm, rational mindset. By eliminating the fear of risks, you align with the Stoic principle and unlock the full potential of your life's journey. 11. Living in a state of perpetual busyness. Living in a state of perpetual busyness often leads to burnout, stress, and a lack of true fulfillment. The Stoics emphasize the importance of mindful living and focusing on what truly matters rather than rushing through life. As Seneca wisely noted, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By eliminating the constant need to be busy, you can focus on what's truly important and align your life with purpose and peace. Why perpetual busyness is harmful. When you're always busy, you often lose sight of your deeper goals and values. You end up moving from one task to another without ever reflecting on whether these actions contribute to your overall well-being. The continuous hustle can lead to emotional exhaustion and physical burnout, leaving you with little energy or time to nurture your relationships or passions. Moreover, busyness can become a form of avoidance. Instead of confronting difficult emotions or tasks, you might fill your time with distractions to escape. This prevents you from addressing the root causes of stress and dissatisfaction. The Stoic approach: prioritize and reflect. Embrace stillness. Stoic philosophers encourage reflection and solitude. Marcus Aurelius stated, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." By embracing moments of stillness, you can reconnect with yourself and regain clarity on what truly matters. Focus on what truly matters. Eliminate tasks and commitments that don't align with your values. Prioritize your time and energy toward actions that bring you closer to your purpose. Practice the art of saying no. Learn to say no to unnecessary distractions. This is essential for protecting your time and energy for the things that truly matter. Simplify your life. Identify the things that drain your time and simplify your routine. This could mean delegating tasks, reducing unnecessary commitments, or cutting out distractions that don't add value to your life. The power of mindful living. When you stop living in a state of constant busyness, you make room for mindfulness. You become more present in your daily activities, able to fully engage with what you're doing instead of rushing through it. Whether it's spending quality time with loved ones or focusing on a meaningful project, mindful living brings clarity and satisfaction. The freedom of choosing purpose over busyness. By eliminating the need for constant busyness, you gain the freedom to live a life of intention. You'll feel more in control of your time and less overwhelmed by the demands of the external world. The Stoics understood that a life filled with purposeful actions is more fulfilling than one dominated by endless tasks and distractions. Living mindfully allows you to enjoy the present moment and focus on what truly matters, rather than simply filling your time with activities. The Stoic approach to busyness teaches us to value quality over quantity in how we spend our time and energy. By letting go of perpetual busyness, you can embrace a life of deeper meaning and contentment. Embracing a Stoic life of simplicity and peace. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that true happiness and fulfillment lie not in external achievements or the approval of others, but in cultivating an inner life grounded in wisdom, self-control, and mindfulness. By quietly eliminating the distractions, fears, and unhealthy habits that clutter our lives, we can create space for clarity, purpose, and growth. The 11 principles we've explored, letting go of excessive possessions, toxic relationships, comparisons, and the need for constant approval, are not just about simplifying our lives. They're about making room for what truly matters. By embracing these Stoic teachings, you can free yourself from the constant noise and negativity that prevent you from living a life of true meaning. Remember, the Stoics believed that happiness is a result of living in harmony with nature and focusing on what is within our control. By consciously choosing to eliminate what doesn't serve your inner peace and purpose, you unlock the path to becoming the best version of yourself. So, let go of the burdens that weigh you down and embrace a life of intentional simplicity, mindfulness, and self-mastery. The journey to peace and fulfillment starts with small, purposeful changes that lead to a life that is truly your own.